Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to play with some indie shadows that just arrived on my doorstep from Give Me Glow. I picked up these 4 foiled pressed pigments during their Black Friday sale. I did it because I really loved the textures of the 4 foiled pressed pigments that were in the Two Moods palette that I got earlier this year. And that's the formula that really made my heart go pitter pat. So I was hoping that if I got 4 shades that really called to me, I would be able to use them regularly and incorporate them into looks on the regular. So these are the ones I'm playing with today. One thing that I figured out when I got the Two Moods palette earlier this year is that me and this formula, I need to do my eyes first. I normally do my eyes after I have all my base makeup on and my cheeks on. Not with this stuff. There might be some fallout. I definitely want to make sure I have the ability to clean that up before I put the rest of my face on. These are the shadows that I'm dealing with. Oh my goodness, look at these. This one right here is Rose's Remix. This is Glamourous. This is Lavender Taupe. And this is Gifts Galore. But do you see how shiny these are? Oh, I am so excited. I feel like Lavender Taupe here is the one that is probably the softest. These two are like a mirror metallic shine. This one also has a lot of shine to it, but it is one of those kind of blue-brown pigments. I don't know, I always struggle with this shade, but it was so pretty. I was like, let's try it. But this is what I am going to be working with today. Probably not all of these, but I wanted to see what they look like and see if I can find matte shadows or other metallics that I can use with these to create a look. I'm going to start out with the matte from Sydney Grace called Speedway. This is a cool toned gray. I guess it's more of like a cool toned brown. It looks kind of grayish in the pan, but it's definitely a cool brown. Should have shown it to you. This is Speedway. The other matte that I'm going to use from Sydney Grace is kind of a plummy, darkish tone. This is called Love and Happiness. I'm going to work a little bit of this kind of in that outer corner, and I'll probably use some of this along my lower lash line once I get the rest of my face on. But I want to just tap some of this out here to create some depth. I'm definitely wanting to stay on the cooler side of things because I think I'm going to use Lavender Taupe over a large portion of the eye. That's kind of the more satin of the 4 new shades I picked up from Give Me Glow. And a little bit of Rose's Remix. I love this shade. This is Lavender Taupe. I'm just going to... Oh, wow. Look at that. So pretty. I feel like the texture of this is just a little bit smoother. Not that the other ones, the more foily ones, aren't as smooth. They're very smooth, but they have more particles in them that I feel are likely to fall out. I feel like this one is so buttery and so creamy, it's not likely to end up underneath my eye accidentally with fallout. It just feels super smooth. This is the one that's super exciting to me. This is Rose's Remix. And I am just gonna, wow, pat a little bit of this right in the center here. I am getting some sparkle fallout underneath, and I think that's likely to happen with this formula, but look at that. All right. I'm gonna take kind of this fluffy brush and just kind of blend right here at the edge. I know it's kind of blending sparkle through my crease, but I used to be like, no sparkle on the crease ever a long time ago, and now I'm like, whatevs. I don't care. Makes me happy. I do find that as I am doing this, I am dusting more product that is falling below. This is why I did my eyes first. And I feel like these are the sort of shadows, these really flaky, glittery ones, are the type of, I mean, it's worth it, but I have to work a little bit harder to get my look going. I feel like I'm losing a little bit of the darkness out here in the outer corner, so I'm just bringing back some of that Love and Happiness shade and just kind of bringing back some darkness to the edge here. I'm going to spend some more time blending it in just a minute. I don't know if you can see it, but I have like little flakes of glitter like all over on my nose, underneath my eye, you know, some parts down here on my chin. So I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to make sure that I don't have any shadow coming down too low here. I'm gonna get the rest of my makeup on, and then I'll come and finish my lower lash line and throw on some mascara and liner. Give me just a minute. I need to finish up this eye look. I'm gonna start by going into this shade in Speedway again from Sydney Grace. I was looking through the mattes I had in the Two Moods palette from Give Me Glow, and they're a little dark and were not the right undertone for the new shades that I wanted to use today. There might be some in there that I could use with the other two shades that I'm not using. I would love to know what your favorite indie eyeshadow brand is. I have tried some Cleona this year. I've tried some Give Me Glow for the first time this year. I've never tried, is it Colored Rain? There are some other brands that I'm really curious about. I would love to know what your favorite is. Mine, of course, is Sydney Grace, but that is not a secret on my channel. But I'm really, really excited to see how these wear today. I will also tell you, I didn't put down any eyeshadow primer. I never do. I'm a lazy gal. The only time I do is if I'm wearing the new Lisa Eldridge eyeshadows, because they last all day if I use a primer. And I'm sure that's true with a lot of other things too, but I just usually can't be bothered. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of Love and Happiness, which is the darker matte from Sydney Grace, and just blend the smallest amount of this right here on the outside corner. On that same brush, I'm going to pick up the Lavender Taupe shade because I love a little, it's not really super shimmery, but it does have a little bit of dimension to it. And I am just going to smoke this out on the lower lash line. All right, I'm gonna throw on some liner and mascara and I'll be right back. This is what it looks like all finished up. I really like the way the eyes look, but you know me, I love sparkle. I feel like one of those birds always going for shiny things like caca, caca, you know, and all I could think of is these deliver on a completely different level. Now, I might have had more success if I had maybe used an eyeshadow primer and I wouldn't have had as much fallout. I still don't trust myself with my personal application, and maybe a professional makeup artist would do better, of putting these on after I have the rest of my face on. I feel like these are probably the sorts of shadows that, because they are so sparkly and I tend to have fallout when I'm using these, that I would probably be best served to always do my eyes first. Now, I don't normally do that, but if you do, you probably won't have problems with these. I'm really curious to see what these two look like because, I mean, they're just so amazing. The level of shine that these, I'm wearing these two today, but the level of shine and reflection that you get from these is insane. Oh, they're so beautiful. I just want to eat them up. Here's the one thing I will tell you. I am going to be 48 very soon, and I find that when I picked it up like this and swiped it on, usually the first place I lay it down is where I get the most pigment. And if I start in my inner corner and pull across, I did find I had what looked like some slightly chunky textured, it really brought out the texture in my eyelids right here in the inner third of my lid from the corner to like right about here. So what I ended up doing to kind of counteract that is to take a fluffy brush and just kind of go over the area, which also lent itself to more sparkle fallout underneath my eyes. But if I didn't take a minute to do that, I feel like it would bring out more texture. I feel like you can see a little bit more texture right in the inner corner here. The other side I feel is a little bit better, and maybe I didn't blend it enough, but I'm not gonna do it now because I would end up with sparkle down here, and that's not what I'm going for. But I feel like a really heavy layer of these on a more mature lid might bring out more of that texture. Now, if you like the shine and the texture doesn't bother you, you're gonna love these. If you are kind of trying to make sure that you do get the sparkle without too much of the additional texture, just be careful how you pick these up and apply them. And do your eyes first so that you have a minute to go over and maybe brush off any excessive, you know, powder that you have in the inner corner or what have you. And I found that I got a more desirable look for me. The older I get, the less successful a very textured shadow like this is going to be. And if you're thinking about it, they feel between the fingers very buttery, but you can see how they do kind of, you know, flake up. And I think it's those really beautiful pressed pigments, that kind of crushed and foily effect, that if there's too much of that, it really can accentuate the texture. And I don't know, maybe in a couple of years, these aren't gonna work for me anymore because my eyelids will have changed even more significantly. But for right now, I can pat them on, but I do need to kind of go over them and make sure I don't have any excessive layers anywhere. Maybe I need to pick up less on my finger and I might be more successful overall. I do really like these. I am very pleased with my purchase and I can't wait to see what these two in Glamourous and Gifts Galore looks like. Let me know what your experience is with Give Me Glow. Do you have any of these really beautiful foiled pressed pigments? Do you like their mattes? What are your favorite shades? If you're not a Give Me Glow person, but you have another favorite indie eyeshadow brand, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon.